For coming. Thanks for joining us. We have a great show for you today. I'm with my good friend Grant Miller here at Miami Community Newspapers. And let me tell you what's going to happen. I am going to be doing a show here every day at 9 a.m., Grant Miller. How do you like that?
That means I get to wake up with you every day. How exciting. I come here and you're here. It couldn't be any better.
Well, don't get carried away. I don't want you waking up with me every day. But I do want you to be by my side. It's going to be exciting. We're going to be talking about Miami-Dade County, what's happening in our community. And guess what? Look who we have joining us here today, none other than Danielle Cohen Higgins, newly appointed as the County Commissioner, District 8 in Miami-Dade County. This is going to be her first interview anywhere right here live on the Andy Korge Show at Miami Community News. Danielle, are you there? Do we have her?
She dropped for a second.
Oh, she dropped for a second. Well, she'll be right back with us. So Grant, it's going to be an exciting, I think, show. Every morning, 9 a.m., right here at Miami Community News.
That's drive time in Miami.
That certainly is.
So if you're driving, you could turn your Facebook on, put in your car and listen, because Miami drive time in Chicago is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, but Miami we run late, so 9 to 10. Yeah. It's going to be an opportunity. And
is that the Latin influence? You think always being late?
No, why is it always Latin? It's Miami time.
It's Miami time.
It's COVID time, whatever you want to call it. But it's really exciting, and it's really exciting that you got Higgins Cohen on here, who is an inspiration to everybody.
She really is. And let me just give you a little background while we try to connect with Commissioner Higgins Cohen. Get that right, okay?
And she already was sworn in, so it's not like president-elect.
Right? No, she's in there, man. It was amazing yesterday what happened to her. So she gets sworn in. It's like bing, bang, boom. You're the commissioner. We're appointing 2 years. Then you're going to have to run for re-election. And literally within minutes, she was swept up to the dais and asked to vote on some items that came up on the agenda.
The question I have is, that means she'll be could be a commissioner for 10 years.
Correct. Okay. And here she is. You can ask her that question yourself, Grant Miller. Danielle Cohen Higgins, thank you so much for joining us on the Andy Korge Show here at Miami Community News. How are you today?
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Grant. It's wonderful to be with you this morning. It's chilly outside. I love this weather.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So, man, it's like you hit the ground running yesterday. Were you surprised at how quickly this occurred? You were appointed. I know you've been running for this seat for, practically 2 years. Tell us a little bit about what happened yesterday.
Yeah, so as you know, the process changed when I filed my candidacy in May of 2019, almost 2 years ago. We were preparing for a special election, and through a couple of meetings, the Board of County Commissioners decided to do an appointment. And there were 2 previous meetings related to that topic, and I was present at County Hall for both of those meetings. And yesterday was the final decision when they were going to nominate and vote on who they wanted appointed to that seat. And so I was there with my husband, obviously praying and keeping our fingers crossed. And it happened very quickly. There was no other name nominated. They only nominated my name, and on a 10-to-1 vote, within 10 minutes, the vote came down, and, Sergeant at Arms took my husband and I upstairs. We signed papers. I had a few moments with the commission, and they were very welcoming, and I was, obviously very thankful for that welcome that they extended to me. And I said to them, if given the opportunity, I'd like to join the meeting that was scheduled for that afternoon, which was 12:30, because it was a CARES Act meeting. And they allowed me to return to the dais after signing all paperwork and getting sworn in. And so I was immediately taking votes yesterday and made my first motion, which was to adjourn the meeting.
Well, I got to tell you, Danielle, you are a lady of her word, because when I had you on the man cave, but a mere 2 months ago, you promised me that your first interview would be with Andy Korge. I included my good friend Grant Miller here as well.
We didn't have a choice.
But you promised me that your first interview would be here with me at Miami Community News, and I really do appreciate that. So what are some of the items that are going to be, on the top of your list as a newly seated commissioner of Miami-Dade?
Yeah, so, again, I go back to the length of this journey and how much our world has changed for all of us in the last year. When I started this process, my number one issue, and what I believe to be the number one issue for our residents in Southdade, is traffic, right? And while that is still a priority and it maintains to be a priority of mine, we have a pandemic and our community is sick and our community is hurting. We are out of work. Businesses are being strangled and entire industries are literally on the brink of collapse. So our priority right now has to be getting our community healthy, getting our community back to work. And I'm optimistic that we will be able to do that. Miami-Dade County is the largest county of 67 in the state of Florida. We should be prioritized with the vaccinations. That's the CARES Act meeting that I attended yesterday with Carlos Magoya from Jackson Health. He was very optimistic that these vaccines will be coming to us and coming to us quickly. So my priority right now is economic opportunity, getting everybody back to work. The number of food distributions that I have done, Andy and Grant, with lines wrapped around the block, people waiting for 5 hours for a week's worth of groceries, it's heartbreaking. And those are the residents that need us most right now, and those are the residents that we need to get back on their feet. And so my priority right now is that, and I'm optimistic that we're going to be able to revive Miami in short order.
I have a couple questions. Because you come in a short term, does this mean you could have an option to have 2 more terms after this? Am I correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's similar with Commissioner Higgins, right? And there was discussion yesterday on whether I will be Commissioner Higgins or Commissioner Cohen Higgins. I will be Commissioner Cohen Higgins. And there is no relation, despite the striking resemblance between she and I.
And you guys looked almost the same, too.
There is no relationship with Commissioner Higgins and I. But just as she finished out the term of Bruno Barrero, I finish out the term of now Mayor Cava. And so I have an election in 2022, which means we're essentially continuing to campaign because there's an election right around the corner. And then if elected, I will be able to serve for 4 years and then have another 4 years. So a total term of 10 years, yes, which is an extraordinary opportunity.
Yeah, your son will already be in college by then, huh?
He will be in college, and our youngest one will be, 10 years old.
Okay, you use the word traffic. I happen to use the word transportation. We have issues on it's really a transportation issue. And because your area that you cover, Cutler Bay, is one of the fastest growing cities in the country. It's double its population. And forget, I can't count Homestead and unincorporated Homestead area, so the transportation is a huge issue in your community. And hopefully you can figure that out. Remember, Katie Sorson years ago said we should have water taxis from Cutler Bay to downtown. Everybody said she's crazy, but now looking at it, it's not a bad option.
Right. Yeah, traffic and transportation, you're absolutely right. They go hand in hand. There's a number of small projects that I plan on focusing on, including synchronized lights, other smaller projects. And then, of course, we need to talk about transportation and transit and how we're going to get the hundreds of thousands of hardworking residents of Southdade to where they need to go more quickly, including development in order to reverse the traffic flow. There's a number of plans in place and being researched. And it's also important to note that I have a great relationship with Commissioner McGee in District 9. And he and I have very similar ideas and plans for Southdade, and his priority as well as traffic and transportation. And so I look forward to working with him and other colleagues to make sure that Southdade is getting its fair share and that we're able to mitigate the situation that we all find ourselves in. Listen, it's better now because less of us are on the road, but that doesn't mean we need to take it for granted. We still need to prepare. We know people are going to get back on the road soon, and we need to be prepared and plan for it.
You're not kidding. Well, before, I know you're short on time this morning, you have to get down to the commission chambers, but I do have one kind of tough question for you before you part, and that is, how do you respond to people that say, well, there should have been an election in District 8 and it shouldn't have been an appointment? How would you respond to that?
Yeah, I understand the concern, of course, and I respond by saying there is no other candidate for this race that was more prepared for an election. I started this and I had the very difficult decision with my family 19 months ago to enter this race and to work towards being a voice for our residents, and we planned for an election. And then the county commissioners made a different decision. So I had an option of, dropping out or going in a different direction, but my focus is on the residents of District 8. So I threw my hat in for an appointment and said, please consider me because I am the best candidate for this job. And thankfully, the Board of County Commissioners agreed, and here we are today.
Well, I just want to say as you leave, because I know, as I said, you have to rush to a meeting at County Hall, but I do want to say from the moment I met you, Danielle Cohen Higgins, now Commissioner Cohen Higgins, I've been incredibly impressed with you, your demeanor, you're just your presence, and you're just a real smart and brilliant person. And I think the people of District 8 are fortunate to have you representing them. So, knock them dead, as I like to say, and do the best for District 8 and for the entire county. All the best of luck to you, Commissioner Danielle Cohen Higgins. And thanks for your first interview here on the Andy Korge Show.
Thank you so much. It's genuinely an honor and a pleasure to serve. And to all residents that I've met, thank you for supporting me along this journey. And to all the residents that I have not met, I look forward to meeting you. And it really is my honor to serve. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Danielle.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. So Grant, there you go.
That's a coup, getting her on the show. But she has worked this community for a year and a half, knocked on doors, done everything right. She knows this community better than anybody. And she grew up in this area. She understands it, where she came from. So we're excited in District 8. As you know, Community Newspapers has 4 or 5 of our newspapers in her district. And one of the issues that we didn't get to ask is about the Homestead Reserve Base. In our heyday, before Hurricane Andrew, there were so many jobs.
Yeah.
And now there's not. Now they might transfer it into some other issues. If they had more jobs there, less people will be traveling up here. So she has a big challenge.
Yeah. And listen, that district has a lot of challenges inherently because of its location. And as she mentioned, probably transportation may be the biggest issue of all for people that live in District 8.
Yeah. People don't realize that other seats, other commissioners, they have a bunch of little cities within there.
Right.
In South Dade, she has Cutler Bay and Palmetto Bay and part of Homestead, but there's a huge vast of Kendall, unincorporated south of Cutler Bay, that doesn't have a city that she's the answer to. And there's a lot of challenges down there, more than anywhere else in Dade County, because it's growing so fast. Homestead, South Dade is growing. So she's got some challenges, and we're excited. And
but let me tell you what her biggest challenge may be, and you pointed it out.
Wow.
I mean, I was lost. I wasn't sure if I was talking to Higgins 1 or Higgins 2. They're practically twins, Eileen Higgins and Danielle.
I have that
twins.
sense, Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was going to say they're twins, like DeVito and Schwarzenegger were twins in that famous movie of the same name. Twins.
The real question I have for her, and I know you're still watching, can you beat your son in tennis yet? Because her son's a little avid tennis player.
Yeah, he's very competitive.
Yes.
And again, as I mentioned to her, I mean, I met Danielle when she came onto the Man Cave on 1210 The Man, my radio show. And I was just so impressed with her. I was impressed with her demeanor. And at the time there was a debate going on about Daniela Levine Cava, our now county mayor, and whether she was going to actually run again for office if she hadn't won the mayor's seat. And Danielle Cohen Higgins said on that show at that time that she was assured by Daniela Cava, our now mayor, that she wouldn't if she didn't win the mayor's seat. Well, it's all a moot point now because Levine Cava is our mayor. And now Higgins Cohen is our commissioner in District 8. And I think the people in District 8 are going to be well served, as I believe the county is going to be well served with Levine Cava as our mayor.
Yeah, and the biggest issue right now in that area, other than unemployment, all the transportation issues between Cutler Bay and Palmetto Bay, there's a bunch of bridges that go 87th, 97th. And then the other side of the US 1, 107. Are those bridges going to open? Or the county going to build bridges? And if they do, will that solve the transportation issue? Nobody wants the bridges. Anybody north of the canal don't want bridges. People in the south do. Will that solve the transportation issue? That's the issue.
Right.
Not do they open them? Well, if you open it, will that ruin all the neighborhoods?
Right. And then the other thing is we've been waiting for how many years for Metro to go all the way down south, right? The
Right.
metro line. And there's been talk, should it be an elevated? Should it be on ground level? How would that work? How would that cause more traffic even? So, there's a lot of issues that in District 8 that they're going to have to deal with. And she's, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here 10 years from now, or maybe even sooner, 4, 5, 6 years from now, assuming we're both.
Am I going to have a gray beard by
Yeah,
then?
yeah, you'll have more than just a gray beard. But I'm wondering if at that time we're not sitting here talking about her running for a different office, because she has all the makings of someone that could go very, very far in politics. Smart as a whip, lawyer.
She's and you can feel it. She cares about her community.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's exciting. Congratulations, getting her on the show.
Well, and thanks for giving me this platform, Grant and Michael Miller. I want to thank you publicly here as we start this show every morning, 9 a.m. Once again, we're going to be talking about things that are about Miami-Dade County and long interviews to give you an idea, some of the people that we're going to be having on here in the coming.
Let's hear them.
Well, in the coming days, you ever go to Coconut Grove?
Of course.
Okay. You ever go to Kennedy Park?
Well, let's hear better yet. You go to Coconut Grove. Who cooked the best burgers at Tours?
I don't know.
Martin Burger?
The Martin Burger. Yes, man. It's been a lot of years.
Come
Grant
on,
Miller.
he's a legend.
He was a legend.
Did you know that, Tommy?
Yeah.
And you know whose daughter is, don't you? Really?
Who is his daughter?
Amy Livergood.
Oh,
That's Martin Burger, and he's famous. Everybody has a famous burger.
well, who may be the most famous person in the Grove in Kennedy Park? None other than AC. Remember AC's Ices?
He's still. I did a video there. He makes me look normal. That guy is a character.
He is a character, and he will be right here next week
He's coming
on
here?
the Andy Korge Show. Yes,
Is he gonna bring the truck outside?
I'm trying to get him to do that because,
That-
man, if you have not tasted those ices, they are the lemon, the
Oh
cherry.
my! But he is just a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
But
And a throwback. I mean, he's been there, I don't know, 40, 42 years.
He's in unbelievable shape.
He
Does
is.
he run or walk? What's he do? How's he in such good shape?
Well,
Not like you and I.
hey, the only way you're going to be able to find out the answer to those questions is right here at Miami Community
okay.
News on the Andy Korge Show.
Okay, so you have Martin Burger, who's famous. He passed away. You got Ice. The other most famous person is Monty Trainer.
Well, Monty will be here as well on the Andy Korge Show next week. We'll have Monty Trainer here.
No way.
How did you know that?
I didn't, but if you didn't, I'm sure he would be very upset at you because Monty, he does the art festival, but he's so entrenched. Now, how old are you again?
I am 60 years old.
Okay.
Why do you have to point that out?
Okay, but Monty's he had the village. Was it called the Village Inn?
The Village Inn.
That was his, right?
Monty's Bayshore.
It was like,
There was a place in the Mayfair. I think it was Cats or something.
was that his too?
That was his
I
too.
didn't know that.
Yes. Yes.
He was Coconut Grove.
He was, and he remains Coconut Grove as the president of the
Art Festival.
Yeah, Coconut Grove Arts Festival, which has been put off for 2021, as most events have for this winter season, and we'll be back in 2022. And one thing I can tell you for sure is Monty Trainer will be there running the show at the Coconut Grove Arts Festival.
I was at Monty Trainer. I'm not trying. I was at the Art Festival last year, and Joe Pineda, his right-hand man, was there. I love Joe.
Joe, do you know that I get kidded a lot about it, and I might get a little emotional because we lost one of our tennis buddies this year to COVID. But for years, I was playing every Sunday morning with Monty Trainer, Dr. Richard Mariani, Joe Pineda.
Wait. You play guys that are 75 and 80 years old.
Well, you're being
win?
nice by when you're saying 75. Okay.
Did you win?
Well, we played doubles, and usually I was matched on one side, and on the other side would be someone of a comparable age, either our good friend who passed this year, Evan Kontarakis, who we miss dearly, or Blake James, the athletic director at the University of Miami.
But Blake's in good shape.
Blake's in great
Compared to
shape.
you guys, he looks like a champion.
Oh yeah, he is in great shape, and boy, can he move. But yeah, so those are the types of guests you're going to see on the Andy Korge show. I've got my cousin and the nephew of former Miami Beach Mayor Alex Dowd.
Alex is coming on the show.
No, AJ Dowd, his nephew, who was a head of the PBA in Miami Beach at one time, also a police officer on the beach, now lives in North Carolina, was named in Alex Dowd's book, Sins of South Beach. And he's going to talk to us a little bit about those days of the 80s and 90s in Miami Beach and what went on to formulate what is now a world-class city. So, do we have anyone else calling in here, Tommy?
I think so, yeah. I got one on the line, actually.
You do?
Hold on. This sounds like somebody from the movies.
We have a celebrity calling in today into the Andy Korge show. Who do we have here?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Very, very nice. Absolutely, positively, and beautiful to be with you.
Sylvester Stallone. How are you, Sly?
Yo, you know what I mean? I'm having a very, very good time today. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Well, I guess you heard about the Andy Korge show starting today at Miami Community News.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And Andy, let me just say this to you. You know, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the black outfit here. You look like a roadie for some grungy band here or something. You know what I mean? Grant Miller, look at him. He's dressed up. He's nice. You know what I mean? Positivity.
Hey, didn't you live in Miami for a while?
I went to the University of Miami. Yes.
And you lived right there by Vizcaya in that beautiful mansion. What caused you to leave Miami exactly, Sly?
Well, you know, things got really good for me in Hollywood, you know what I mean? And I started raising children, you know, and at the time, Miami was not a great place, you know, to be raising kids if you're from where I am. You know, I'm a Republican, you know what I mean?
Oh my God. You are a Republican? I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I'm a right winger, man, you know, absolutely. And I'm still upset about this election, you know what I mean? But more than that, yeah, well, no, there was an election. He lost. It's the way it is, you know what I mean? Very, very, very nice. But I gotta say, Andy, you look beautiful, man. You really do. You look like you should be reading poetry.
Oh, well, thank you. At some remote bar somewhere in the West Village of New York or something?
Yeah, you know, one of those old beatnik bars, you know, where they're clicking their fingers and they're doing all the crazy stuff. By the way, I'm going to be, Grant, down in Miami before too long. I'm doing a new movie. I got a part for Andy in the movie. It's, it's Rambo 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. What would my part be? I mean, what, I don't know. A ninja or something in this out? You want me to wear this outfit?
No. I haven't quite figured that out yet. It's either going to be a bartender or a bum on the street. We haven't figured that out yet. But it'll be a good part for you. You know what I mean? It'll be one of those fabulous. And then Grant, I got something going for you and Michael, you know, and everybody down there. You know what I mean? It's going to be very nice. It'd be nice to be back in Miami. You know, I mean, I have some great memories down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, listen, Sly, thank you so much for calling into the Andy Korge show, being a part of this inaugural show. I'm literally honored that you would call in and congratulate us on the new show. I thank you so much, Sly.
Well, absolutely. You know what I mean? It's my pleasure to be with you. And, remember, you got to keep moving. You know what I like about you? You remind me like last night with the football game with the Washington Redskins. You know, they're down and out. They're not having a great season, but you keep coming back. You keep getting better and better and better. You do great interviews. You know what I mean? You're just relentless. You keep moving forward. And that's what I like, because that's the true meaning of America. You keep moving forward. You become a success. You know what I mean? It's what America is all about. Whether you're right or you're left or upside down, Andy Korge keeps coming out swinging, man. You know, although I'll tell you the truth, be honest with you, after going with Apollo Creed and Clubber Lang, I don't want to go in the ring with Andy Korge because I don't think I'd turn out very good. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, and we do know what you mean, Sly.
Yeah.
Again, thanks so much for coming in and giving us a little oomph on that first show. I really do appreciate it. That was almost Sylvester Stallone and it was great to have you on. Thanks, Sly. So,
Yeah.
so here we go, man.
Wait, everybody, I get private text messages that is Andy courting you because he's going to read poetry to me. I go, what is going on?
Well,
Are you going to go to Barnes and Nobles or what's the other one? Books and Books?
Well, funny you should mention Books and Books. You know who's going to be a guest with us next week as well?
Who?
None other than Mitchell Kaplan of Books and Books.
Wow. Wait. I want to watch his movie, but it's 2 hours long. I hear it's unbelievable.
Well, what do you mean? I want to watch it, but it's 2 hours long. Are you not capable of sitting for 2 hours in one place?
I am not. But I hear it's great. Oh, look at all this stuff. Good stuff. Looking forward to upcoming shows. Free Icy, sponsored by MCA. Wow. Listen, George, I hope it. Look at Dr. Kristen Rosen Gonzalez said I should be snapping, reading poetry. Andy.
All right, Kristen. Well, maybe, that might be a good show. I'll invite Kristen Rosen Gonzalez here, and she can read, and I could read poetry to her.
I'm sure her fiance would love that.
And I'm sure my spouse would love that too.
Oh, yeah. Rebecca will be right there.
We'll be right there. You know what she would say to me? Why is it that you're not reading poetry to me?
Because by the time you get home, you're already taking a nap. And I just want you to know, my good friend, Dr. Arbetter, and everybody goes, what kind of doctor is he? Has a PhD in hot dogs, is watching the show right now.
Oh,
so
great.
Thank you, Dr. Arbetter.
Thank you, David Arbetter. We love, that I can't understand. I'm still trying to understand how it is that right down the street, they build another place. What is it called?
A hot dog place.
Yeah, another. How many of those are you eating?
Well, National Hot Dog Day, I had 14. So since then, I probably hadn't.
You ate, and in what period of time did you eat those 14 hot dogs?
Hour and a half.
Oh my God! Did you get grossly sick?
No, but I didn't eat hot dogs since then. But they have a chili that'll knock your socks off. So Dr. Arbetter, and he's. I'm really proud of you, Dave. Keep up the good work.
You get another call.
I do.
Yeah. But I think this is like a Secret Service screening.
We have a call to some sort of a Secret Service screening. Not sure who this is. We got surprised. Oh, look. Oh my God. Is this
Andy Korge? Andy Korge, how are you?
Oh my God,
Yeah,
President
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Hey.
I got to tell you, Tommy put up a shot of you, President Clinton, that is maybe a little dated, perhaps. I don't know, but wow, I am honored that you would have called today on the inaugural show of the Andy Korge Show here at Miami Community News. Thank you so much, President Clinton. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Let me just say this, that, Andy, don't forget, you and your wife are going to be at my hot tub party at the Fontainebleau Hotel on New Year's Eve. It's going to be a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, kind of a party. I'll tell you that, because Bubba's in town.
Oh, well, Bubba. Hey, have you been Saturday night, President Clinton? I actually won a bet and was treated by my good friends Steve and Mary Pica. I was treated to dinner at Joe's Stone Crab, Rebecca and I. And I know you love the fried chicken there at Joe's Stone Crab. We had it as an appetizer. Are you going to be going back to Joe's when you get back here in Miami?
Oh, absolutely. When I'm in town, I try to enjoy myself as much as I possibly can. Even though I'm no longer the president, I've got a lot of things to do and a lot of initiatives to be moving forward and keep the Democratic Party in everybody's eyes. I love Miami. I'll tell you, hey, it's a party town for a party guy like Bubba.
Well, what's going on? What are you up to these days? I mean, a lot of work happening, a lot of fun happening. You're playing lots of golf. Tell us what's going on in your life.
No, I'm a little too busy to be playing golf, unlike the guy we got in the White House right now that seems to play golf every time you turn around because he wants to disappear from the press. But no, I'm just enjoying life a little bit. I've got a lot of initiatives around the world helping third world countries, and yeah, I'm keep pretty busy. And also, I want to stay away from Hillary. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't blame you.
How is Hillary doing? Is she excited with Joe Biden's election and the president?
Andy, we couldn't be any happier because we'll have some stability back in the White House. We won't have this BS lies that are constantly going on. And if one thing I know about Joe, he does not tweet very often.
Okay, well that's going to be kind of refreshing. I got to tell you, President Clinton, I was just up to here with Donald Trump. I mean, I was just ad nauseum. It was just too much. It was a tweet, a this, a that. It was all adversarial. I just want to see some comment. I like to refer to Joe Biden during the election as our chicken noodle soup. It's that comforting thing you need when your mom brings to you when you're sick in bed. You think he's going to do that for our country in the middle of a pandemic here?
Well, he's got to get a handle on the pandemic, and we got to make sure that the vaccines get out to all the people that need to have the vaccines. But yes, I think eventually he's going to get a hold of it. And the differences between the Republicans and the Democrats, as the years go by, you'll notice that things will be coming together. People will be, and this Trumpism BS is going to slowly dissolve. These people that believe him, I just do not understand what's going on in their minds, where they keep saying the election is a fraud, this and that and the other. Let me tell you something. This guy does not like to lose. So therefore, anything that was going to happen, he was either going to be the best or it's going to be a fraud. Now, I can tell you one thing, talking to Michael Beschlaw the other day, who is a historian. Both of you know who he is, and I'm sure your audience does too. He says that Trump will go down as the worst president this country has ever had. At least he'll be number one there.
Hey, President Clinton, I just want to let you know, in our office, I have a big photograph of you and myself while you're reading the Miami Community newspapers, and you sent me one, and I sent it to you, and you signed it. I really appreciate it, President Clinton. It was at a house. It was a house in Pinecrest, 104th Street, and the owner of the house, the male, I won't say who it, didn't want me to come in, but the wife snuck me in, so I appreciate you signing it.
Well, Andy Korge, when he was single, he had a lot of those same problems with husbands and wives too.
And
hey, by the way,
yes,
by the way, I just want to say hello to Michael for me, would you please? Michael Grant, he's just a wonderful fellow. When I come down there, he and I often go out and have lunch together and talk the political genre and have some fun. We also talk football, because I'm a big Arkansas fan, and I know you guys down there are very proud of your University of Miami.
We love the Razorbacks.
Oh, well, hey, listen, we do too. And yeah, I know you folks down there love your University of Miami. Now, look, I know Korge is a Gator. What can I say? Everybody has a cross to bear, but looks like they're going to play Alabama.
Yeah, hey, President Clinton, I remember that game for the national championship, Florida, Oklahoma, and I was sitting in the stadium here at Hard Rock Stadium at that time, Pro Player Stadium, and I was watching my Gators win a national championship with Urban Meyer as the coach. Danny Ponce, as the chairman of the Orange Bowl committee, presented the championship trophy, and he's Mr. Gator, presenting the championship trophy to Urban Meyer. And I remember looking back and seeing you in a skybox back there. You're quite the football fan, are you not?
I love football. I'll tell you this right now. I don't know who's loved football more since Richard Nixon than me. I'll tell you the truth. I love watching football, and I'm pulling for the Canes. I'm telling you, I love that school. I got a lot of good friends that went there, and it's a beautiful campus, by the way. If you folks never get down to Coral Gables, it's a beautiful, beautiful campus. But this year, I got to be honest with you, Mr. Korge, Andy, my friend,
Mr. Korge, really?
Mr. Korge, I got to tell you, it's Alabama, and nobody else is going to be able to beat them. They're just loaded, and I feel sorry for LSU. What happened to them this year, and this COVID has really been disruptive in every sport you can possibly think of. But we're going to get this underhand, and I know Joe Biden, and even though Trump wants to make sure everybody knows, yes, he did push through the vaccine, but it's going to be up to Joe Biden to get it out there amongst the people, and I want you to remember that. And I want you to remember also, too, he's the president of the United States of America, not the red states, not the blue states, but the president of the United States of America. And this is the greatest country on earth.
Well, thank you so much, President. nearly president, Bill
Yeah,
Clinton.
well, no, I'm the guy, baby. I'm the number one under the sun, and Bubba's back to play.
Oh my gosh. Well, Bubba, you come to South Florida and play with us because we cannot wait. Thanks so much, almost
Yes.
President Bill Clinton, for being
God
with us
bless.
here on the Andy
Yeah.
Korge Show, inaugural show. There you
Yes.
go, Grant Miller. Look at that.
I really appreciate you put Rocky over me, Bill Clinton. I resemble them. I think it's pretty exciting. You know look how good the American flag looks good behind you.
Yeah, I'm my outfit is just well suited for that background. So great guests going on. What is this?
Oh, I thought you were reading poetry.
Oh no. No, but great guests coming up. Hey, have you been reading in the paper about
no.
yeah, in the papers and in the media and hearing about Manny Diaz, former mayor of the city of Miami, being perhaps the head of the Democratic Party in the state of
A
Florida?
couple questions. Has Dade County ever had as the president? Is it called the president of the? What's his title be?
He would be, I guess, the chairman of the
Has there ever
Democratic
been
Party.
a chairman from Dade County?
I believe there has been. I'm not sure exactly
Okay.
who. I know that yesterday, Steve Simonides was reelected, re-upped as chairman of the Miami-Dade County Democratic Party. And there's been talk about Manny Diaz perhaps assuming the chair of the state of Florida party. And, his good friend and someone that was right by his side during his two terms as mayor of the city of Miami, Seth Gordon, who we all know will be joining us here on the Andy Korge Show at Miami Community News in a coming show next week sometime.
Manny Diaz is interesting. It's not that he was the mayor. He was the leader of South Florida. After he retired as mayor, he continued to be the leader, not just set by the side. So it'd be exciting for the Democratic Party, but he is really a non-political guy. He wants what's best for Miami-Dade County. So it's exciting. And top it all, he has his son, who's the leader of the Miami Hurricanes. Are they 8-1, Tommy?
Yep.
8-1 Miami Hurricanes.
I mean, and really think about when have you ever seen anything like that? It's really kind of remarkable that you have a father and a son, a father who politically was just a juggernaut here in South Florida, who's been a juggernaut in business since he left the position as mayor of the city of Miami. And his son is the head football coach of our beloved Canes here in South Florida, doing a spectacular job rebuilding that program.
The story with Manny, the football coach Manny Diaz, is incredible because he was at FSU, graduated at FSU, then went to work at ESPN, and then he became a football coach. And one day he'll tell you the story. He went up to Bill Belichick. Do you know the story?
No.
After he was part of the team that interviewed him after the Super Bowl, and Manny says, "I want to be like you." And he says, "Well, what are you doing behind the desk?" So he went back to FSU as a graduate assistant, shuffling papers in the sports department, and moved up that way. You should get him on the show. Manny Diaz, the football coach, is incredible. Forget a coach.
Well, you know who that task is for. One Brett Romberg. We're going to get Brett Romberg in here on the Andy Korge Show, and we're going to talk to.
And I don't know. You can because he is Mr. Mom now.
He is.
I love to see. There's a show. I can't imagine 3 girls running around over. They must dominate Brett Romberg.
And he was sending me the other day photos from a brand new iPhone. He wanted to show me the quality of the photos. And I've never met his kids, but he had a photo of one of his daughters, his youngest, I believe, or maybe the middle daughter, sent to me. And what a gorgeous kid. I mean, thank God his wife is so beautiful.
He married up.
He certainly did. But that would be a task for Brett Romberg. I see something going up here. Are you kidding me?
See if I can patch it in.
All right. Well, we got somebody else calling in. Oh no, it is not.
There's my man.
Yeah.
Terminator.
You hear me now. You listen to me next week. I got a little bit of a sore throat. But Grant, I'm so happy to see you're a Republican. It's a beautiful thing for you to be a Republican, because I was a Republican, even though I married into the Kennedy family, which is like being married to the mob. But besides the point, I want to say hello to Andy Korge, my good friend. How are you, Andy?
I am great, Arnold. Thank you so much for calling. So apparently, I guess you heard about the inaugural show, the Andy Korge show here at Miami Community News, and you're just calling what to give me some encouragement?
Well, I heard from my good friend Sylvester Stallone, and he says, you need to call, give Andy a little encouragement. So I thought, I'm not doing much. I'm just laying here in my hotel room with my maid, and we're having some fun. And I said, I need to call Andy Korge. By the way, where's Michael Miller? I really enjoyed talking to Michael Miller too. He's fabulous.
He is fabulous. He's in another office actually doing the hard work. Grant over here does all the fun work, and Michael
I do the fun work here.
He does the
Oh my God, it looks like Danny DeVito right here on the screen here, right next to my picture.
The twins.
Yeah, I can obviously we can see the resemblance. Yeah, like I'm gonna be a Democrat tomorrow. Okay, fine.
Well, it's funny. We just at the beginning of the show, we had newly appointed Miami-Dade County Commissioner, District 8, Danielle Cohen Higgins, and
I watched it.
She's the second Higgins on the commission. They've got this twin thing going on because Eileen Higgins is kind of shorter, lighter, blonde hair, blue eyes. Danielle is taller, darker skin, dark eyes, dark hair. And it's sort of a twins, you and Danny DeVito thing. When are we going to see Twins Part 2?
I don't know. They've been asking me for a very long time about this, but Danny's very, very busy, doing movies and things like that, So, and for me, I'm sort of semi-retired now. If Stallone wants me to do a movie with him, I will do one, But what I wanted to call in to say is what I love about you, Andy Korge, is you're fantastic. You make your guests feel very much at ease. You make everybody feel at ease, and you're really great. And I'll be calling in from time to time. You've already got me booked for a couple of weeks from now. We're going to be talking politics with Grant Miller. That's going to be fun. Talking with Grant Miller is like talking to a squirrel. You never know which way they're going to go, and he's always got his hand. And he's always has his hands on his nuts. So I mean, it's fabulous.
Nothing has been more true. Nothing said has ever been more true than what you just said about Grant Miller, Arnold.
And by the way, would you give a hello to your beautiful wife, Andy? She's fabulous. I mean, I met her the last time I was in Miami, and we had a great dinner. We went out. Although I must tell you, Andy, I would appreciate it the next time, instead of going to the BK Lounge, maybe we went someplace where you have to spend some money.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
He's so liberal, he won't spend money in businesses that make Miami-Dade County great. He goes to national chains like Burger King, McDonald's. But if you get money out of this liberal Democrat, hats off to you.
This weekend, Arnold, I felt like I was back in the radio business, because I actually went out for the first time really since March. I went out a little more than I usually do. And it was Tommy over here's 50th birthday on Friday, and he invited us to a party with social distancing at Duffy's. Live band.
Little shout out to Duffy's.
Oh, man, it was incredible. The food, the band, the music was fantastic. We had a great time. And I spent, aside from a hefty tip with the waitresses there, $0. And then on Saturday,
well, I have to interrupt, because he's a liberal Democrat. He always wants stuff for free. That's why he believes in socialism.
But Grant, let me tell you something right now. You hear me now. You listen to me next week. All politicians, they take for free. They give nothing back. Let me tell you, having been a governor of California, let me say this. I would get free this and free that, and I never did anything for the state of California, but they elected me twice. You talk about a con job. I'm telling you right now. And by the way, a belated happy birthday to Tommy. I spoke to him on the phone when I called in. Absolutely wonderful. But Andy, I have a question for you, because Sly asked me to ask you this. What's with the ninja thing working here this morning?
No, he's reading poetry to me. He's courting me.
And by the way, I saw the beginning of the program, the young lady, getting back to that a second. She's very beautiful. You know what I mean? When we come down to do a movie or something, maybe we'll include her and the sister in there. Because I must tell you, California may have beautiful women, but Miami, oh my God, oh, they are so delicious.
Well, hey, she's married, happily married with 2 young children.
Oh, I don't mean that. No, I don't mean that. What I mean is, you know, we'll have her in the movie because she would bring great atmosphere to the movie. You know, like a lot of the beautiful women in Miami. I mean,
well,
my goodness gracious.
And Arnold, you pointed it out. She is beautiful. I mean, she could be one of the most beautiful politicians in America right now.
Oh,
yeah.
And she's brilliant.
And she's brilliant.
You know,
yeah, unlike the first lady that we had. The only thing I don't like about Trump, besides being a liar and a thief and a con artist, is that he's got a wife. I mean, you know, first of all, Maria, she was a great first lady for California. Okay. George Bush's wife was a great first lady for the United States of America. Can you tell me what those 2 women would have ever posed nude for nudie pictures like this woman did? I mean, for God's sakes, America, wake up. By the way, I just want to, she's as cold-blooded as Trump. Trump the rump. He's a disgrace to Republicans.
Well, I know you haven't been a big Trump fan. I know I've heard you prior to today on the Andy Korge show here at Miami.
I love Andy Korge, and congratulations on a fantastic platform. I know the Miller boys are really great when it comes to putting together great platforms. I know that Grant was scavenging around for the wood in the back of the buildings all over Miami for the desks and all that crazy stuff. But Grant Miller, he's beautiful. And Grant, I'm going to get you in the next Twins movie.
Absolutely.
I think he's ideal for it. I think you and him, he's about the height of Danny DeVito.
I resemble that.
He resembles Danny DeVito, so he'd be a natural. If Danny doesn't want to be in the movie, I'm telling you, this guy over here to my left would be an ideal candidate for it.
You know, the good thing about Danny DeVito was that when in the movie, if my belt wasn't buckled, he was the right height. He could buckle my belt. Well, Andy Korge, I've got to go, but let me say this to you. You'll hear me now. You listen to me next month. It's a beautiful thing that you're doing this show. I look forward to calling in from time to time. I know you got some great guests coming on board, and I think this is a wonderful platform for you to get out there and do the things that you need to do. And I just want to say one thing to the American people. Remember, this is the United States of America, not the United States of this or that or that or this. It's the United States of America, and it is not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. Well, thank you for pointing that out. Almost Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger, not almost, baby. I am it. I'm just ask the maid in my room. She'll tell you, oh boy, am I Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Not quite, Arnold. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Andy Korge show in Miami.
Bye-bye, Andy. God bless. Hasta la vista, baby.
All right. Hasta la vista, Arnold.
How old is he now?
He's got to be close. He's got to be tipping 70. He's got to be close to 70.
Tipping 70, please. I bet you he's 75.
You think so?
Hey, you want to make a bet, Tommy?
No, he's got to be at least 75.
Yeah.
You think?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so this is a pretty incredible opener. You know, we're community.
How do I best this?
We're pretty lucky to have you on our platform. It's the Andy Korge Show.
73. There you go.
You know, for you, that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
But you open up with a bang. I love the politics after, but Cohen Higgins is going to make a huge difference. Her district is tough. You go to like Sally Heyman. She has 7 cities in her district. You know, this only has 2 cities. So it's a difficult city because it goes from the richest to the poorest. And so she's got a tough challenge, and we're people that live in District 8. It's going to all benefit, and Palmetto Bay happen to be benefiting, but she's going to represent everybody in our district.
Yeah, I think she'll do a great job, and hopefully we'll do a great job for you all watching this show every morning, 9 a.m. here at Miami Community News. We're going to bring lots of interviews, guys, as I mentioned, like AC from AC's IC's. I've got my good friend from ESPN Deportes, Claudia Trejos,
Wait.
with me on Friday.
I don't know if she's your good friend, but that woman is the bomb. If we could, on that day, Tommy, do not let him in, and let's just have her. She is the bomb of sports people.
And how great is that? You have this like smoking hot chick in Claudia Trejos that could beat your butt in a fight, okay? And she knows more about boxing in her pinky finger than we've known in our entire life. And she knows about MMA. She knows about boxing. She covers at
She's
the
on top of that
NBA.
sport. That's a tough sport.
Yeah, she is something else. She'll be with me on Friday. We're going to have some great guests starting tomorrow with AJ Dowd.
That's pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting stuff. That's what our plan is here at Miami Community News during the Andy Korge Show. Our plan is to bring you the best interviews, and it's all about Miami-Dade County. That's what this is all about. Nothing else. We're not going to be talking national politics. We're not going to be talking national issues. We're going to be talking stuff that affects us here in Miami-Dade County because, hey, that's what the Miami Community News has been about for how many years, Grant Miller?
Over 50 years.
Over 50 years here in South Florida, and we're just making it better and better every day here on Facebook, here on YouTube, here on Periscope, all the digital ways you can tune in with us. Well, thanks for joining us on the inaugural show. Thank you, Grant Miller. Thank you, Michael Miller, for giving me the platform to do what I love to do so much. And thank you for watching today on Facebook and any other digital platform that you may be watching on. You'll see more of it coming ahead on Miami Community News here on the Andy Korge Show. So again, thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Danielle Cohen Higgins, new Commissioner, District 8. Thank you, not quite Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton. Thank you, almost Arnold Schwarzenegger. And thank you, I'm not sure if you are Sylvester Stallone, for joining us today here at Miami Community News. And of course, Grant Miller. Thanks so much. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Andy Korge Show here at Miami Community News. Have a great day and stay safe.